Hey again. Here we go with chapter 19, Africa, before 1800, and that is just, the history is so vast. So, again, learning objectives could be a great idea for beginning a paper, choosing a topic, and our timeline snapshot. Okay, going all the way back to 30,000. So we remember them, the African cultures from the Neolithic period. Here we're going to learn more. So this is all pre-colonial. Okay, here we go with the Benin brass plaque. So notice we're in Benin, Nigeria. This is made of brass, and the composition is best described as symmetrical and hierarchical. So we see symmetry, we can divide it in the middle, and it's basically the same on both sides. And the tallest figure is going to be the most important. And we remember this piece very well. The Neolithic period provides the greatest numbers of rock art images from all over the continent of Africa. So rock art, all about Neolithic era, 28,000 BCE. And then coming, way into the future, we're still BCE. This is the Running Woman rock painting. The horned headdress of the running female from Tassili in Algeria is explained as ceremonial regalia. So you can imagine going way back in time, the type of ceremonies that they would have and wearing regalia. So Tassili in Ager is in Algeria. Good note. The rock art of Tassili in Ager can be said to depict people and supernatural beings. So again, getting into supernatural. This is the fragmentary figure of a woman from the Nok peoples. So the Nok culture produced this figure of a woman. The earliest African sculpture in the round was created by the Nok peoples. And I don't know why they don't say that here, but it's the Nok. Yeah, Nok peoples. In the Nok culture, women are the principal creators of ceramic and clay sculpture. A characteristic of the Nok style in ceramic sculpture is large eyes and heads. We've seen that before as well. Recently, many Nok style works have left Nigeria through an illegal market. Yeah. Terrible. Okay, so this bizarre looking head has so many important features. So it's a Leidenberg head. The date was determined by radiocarbon testing. So from the year 500. The Leidenberg heads are adorned with horizontal incised neckbands, linear patterns on the back of the head, and scarification marks. Okay, so those scars created, it was just like a process. In African art, scarification symbolizes beauty and status. So this would have been a very important person. And the Sabi, which we'll learn more about coming up, they associated scarification facial features with African adornment, and they used this as an identifier in their salt cellars. So, if you're going to come in the salt cellar, you better be really important. So you can imagine how important salt was. And then also facial striping is an indicator in African societies of a titled person. Okay, this is a water basin in Nigeria. The inland floodplain of the Niger River has been likened to Mesopotamia. Hey, so here we are back at the Fertile Crescent. The prestige object that was excavated from a tomb in the Igbo Ukwa area is an elephant tusk. So that was like a prestigious thing to own. The objects from the Igbo Ukwa tomb that have been used as a form of currency are beads. So from this same tomb, beads were, like money. Okay, this is an equestrian figure of a fly whisk hilt. So kind of like the top of your fly whisk holder. It was cast by the lost wax method, which we also remember. A fly whisk would most likely be used by the leader in order to magnify his gestures. And that kind of makes me think of some of the scenes in Coming to America with Eddie Murphy. You guys might have seen that movie. So this king, Ife king, the material that makes up this Ife ruler portrait is zinc brass. Wow. So you would think this was made out of clay or something like that, but nope, zinc brass. The style of the Ife ruler portraits are best described as idealized, yet lifelike. So there's some things about it that look like a real person, but, like the height, very wide feet, so they're kind of idealized. And this is the head of an Ife king. The Ife figures from the Yoruba kingdom, and it doesn't note that here, but that's important. They were mainly used in sacred kingship rituals. The figural art of the Ife culture is realistic, but at the same time idealized. So, again, this appears to be, a lifelike character, but it was also idealized, kind of like they did in ancient Greece and Rome. Yoruba legends place the group's origins in Ife. So, no Yoruba. Okay, this seated copper figure found at Tada in Nigeria is most stylistically similar to the sculptures of the Ife peoples. Okay, so here we are in Djenne, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm terrible at that, but I'm pronouncing it phonetically. Large groups of ceramic sculpture dating between 1100 and 1500 BCE have been excavated from an inland delta area in modern Mali. So now this is Mali. The terracotta figures that have been produced in Djenne between 1100 and 1500 came to an end due to the arrival of Islam. So we just talked about Islamic cultures. This is the Great Mosque, again at Djenne in Mali. This was a walled town circa 800 CE, so that was when it began. Had a diverse population, many specialist workshops, so this is like a reconstruction of it. The Great Mosque at Djenne was built with wood and adobe. So we know those kind of materials don't last. Okay, this is a rock-cut mosque, church. And so we're familiar with that term, rock-cut. We've been talking about it since ancient Egypt. King Lalibela had 12 rock-cut churches built in Ethiopia in the 13th century. The location of this rock-cut church is Ethiopia. Important to note. Okay, here we are in Great Zimbabwe. The people of Great Zimbabwe are considered the regional ancestors of the Shona-speaking people. The Great Zimbabwe enclosure is unusual in that it is made of dry stone, which is incredible to me. There's no kind of mortar, holding this together. The date of the enclosure at Great Zimbabwe is the 14th century. Finds of beads and porcelain pottery from Mesopotamia and China, along with copper, gold, and ivory objects, underscore the assumption that Great Zimbabwe was a prosperous trade center. Can you imagine? So they were like all involved worldwide. So it was a kind of a global sharing. And the two animal figures that appear on the soapstone monolith of Great Zimbabwe are the crocodile and bird. So cool. Okay, this is a waist pendant. The subject of this ivory figure is the Queen Mother. The material of this pendant of Queen Mother Idia is ivory. The presence of Portuguese heads of the Benin waist pendant, so this is known as the Benin waist pendant of the Queen Mother, indicates an active diplomatic trade relationship. The Portuguese European peoples established contact with the Kingdom of Benin in the 1470s. The system that the Benin used to record their history is complex oral recitations. So they basically were storytellers, and so they weren't really writing things down at this point. Again, the head of the Queen Mother from Benin. Okay, this is a Ndop. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know. The class of artworks that survives from the densely wooded area of Central Africa are Cuban Ndop figures. So I think because it's really amazing that this is made out of wood and yet it was recovered from this densely wooded area. Amazing. Okay, what a name. Master of the symbolic execution. Sapi, the Sapi peoples, their ivories. This is made of ivory. Amazing. The Sapi ivories represent a unique hybrid of African and European cultures. The artist called the Master of Symbolic Execution has been identified as a master workshop from the Sapi culture. During the 16th century, Sapi artists created ivory statuettes for export. It's already thinking about making money. The Master of the Symbolic Execution created this work. And then a couple additional notes, which I think are so funny. If you had an umbrella, it means you were a leader. And the mudfish in Benin iconography symbolizes the human and divine aspect of the ruler. And then here we have some great discussion questions. If you want a great idea to discuss on your final paper, take a screen cap, and that's it.